Today, we dive into the next chapter of Kai's adventure. Will he rise to the occasion, or will the immense power of the Codex be too much for him to handle? Let's find out. Kai wasted no time. With the system's guidance, he opened the Cosmic Tao Codex. The first page shimmered with celestial light, revealing the initial stage of his cultivation journey, the organ and blood realm. The text explained that this realm was the very foundation of power. It involved refining one's internal organs and blood, strengthening them with cosmic energy until they hummed with vitality. The goal was to transform his mortal body, preparing it for the incredible power it would later hold. Think of it like building the strongest possible foundation before constructing a skyscraper. Without a solid base, everything would crumble. The system laid out the steps clearly. Absorb ambient cosmic energy. Circulate it through specific meridians and use it to temper each organ and purify every drop of blood. It sounded straightforward enough, but the reality was a completely different story. Kai sat cross-legged, mimicking the posture described in the Codex. He closed his eyes and tried to sense the cosmic energy around him. At first, he felt nothing. Just the gentle breeze and the distant sounds of the formations in his realm. He focused harder, trying to reach out with his mind, to grasp the invisible threads of power the system spoke of. Days turned into a week. Kai barely ate or slept, his determination unwavering. He finally managed to feel it, a faint warmth, a subtle tingle on his skin. It was the cosmic energy. He eagerly tried to guide it into his body, but it was like trying to catch smoke with his bare hands. The energy was elusive, slipping through his grasp time and time again. 3 grueling weeks passed. Kai had made some progress, but it was agonizingly slow. He could now draw a tiny wisp of cosmic energy into his body, but circulating it was another nightmare. The meridians described in the Codex felt like a complex, invisible maze. He'd push the energy forward, only for it to dissipate or hit a dead end, causing a sharp, painful jolt. He was stuck on the very first step of the very first realm. Frustration began to gnaw at him. While in the realm he made, was brimming with all types of energies. And outside the realm was in chaos. Monsters and more were roaming outside the realm's entrance that was concealed that no one could see or enter. Did the system make a mistake choosing him? He had the ultimate cheat, the Cosmic Tao Codex, yet he felt more helpless than ever. 25 days of relentless effort, and he had almost nothing to show for it. His body ached, his spirit was weary, and a sense of despair started to set in. Just as Kai was on the verge of giving up, a familiar blue screen flickered to life before his eyes. A series of notifications scrolled past. First, a system alert. Host's progress in the organ and blood realm has been analyzed. Rate of progress, 0.01% per day. Kai's heart sank. At this rate, it would take him centuries just to complete the first realm. But then, a new message appeared, one that would change everything. Detecting critical deficiency in host's comprehension ability. The host's mortal mind is unable to grasp the profound concepts of the Cosmic Tao. Kai braced himself for more bad news, but what came next made his jaw drop. To compensate for this deficiency and ensure optimal growth, a new innate trait is being granted. The words glowed with a golden light. Congratulations, host. You have acquired the trait, the omniversal understanding. Kai stared at the notification, his mind reeling. The omniversal understanding? What did that even mean? He read the description that followed. This trait grants the host infinite comprehension. All concepts, no matter how complex or profound, will be instantly understood. All languages, codes, and patterns will be immediately deciphered. Your ability to learn is now limitless. Kai blinked, and in that instant, the world shifted. The complex text of the Cosmic Tao Codex, which had been like a foreign language just moments before, suddenly made perfect sense. It was as if he had known it his entire life. The intricate pathways of his meridians were no longer a confusing maze. He saw them laid out in his mind's eye, clear as a map. The flow of cosmic energy, once so chaotic and untamable, was now a gentle river he could effortlessly command. It was like a switch had been flipped in his brain. He could feel the cosmic energy all around him. Not as a faint warmth, but as a vibrant, pulsating ocean of power. He took a breath, and without even trying, the energy flowed into him, a willing and obedient servant. He guided it through his meridians with flawless precision, the energy circulating smoothly, without any resistance. He directed the stream of power to his heart, and he could feel it, almost hear it. As the cosmic energy began to temper and strengthen the muscle, each beat growing more powerful, more resonant. The pain and struggle of the past 25 days vanished, replaced by a feeling of absolute clarity and control. He had been trying to solve a quantum physics equation using only basic arithmetic. Now he had the mind of a cosmic supercomputer. The frustration melted away, replaced by a surge of exhilaration. This was it. This was the true power of the system. His journey was just beginning. The cultivation montage resumes, but now it's a breathtaking display of hyper-efficient, precise work. Day 26. With omniversal understanding, Kai immediately corrects his errors. He begins purifying his heart with microscopic precision. Day 30. Minor step 4 achieved. His lungs are fortified, breathing syncing with energy absorption. Day 40. Minor step 8 achieved. His liver and kidneys shine with internal light, filtering spiritual impurities. Master, your vital signs are geometrically perfect. External temporal flow confirms 40 days have passed since seclusion began. The global mana storm peaked 15 days ago and is now in a stable post-apocalyptic state. It feels like I've studied my own body for a century. Every cell is in harmony. Day 45, minor step 10, realm peak achieved. Master, I should say one thing. Every time you are at the peak of every realm and ready to break through to the next realm like now, you will attract and face catastrophic cosmic lightning. Kai has reached the absolute limit of the organ and blood realm. A profound pressure builds within him. A perfect foundation seeking to break into the next stage of existence. Now, break through to skin and bone. Above the camouflaged realm in the mountain peak, the twilight apocalypse sky is violently parted. A localized void opens, speckled with alien constellations. Within it, catastrophic bolts of cosmic lightning crackle. This lightning is not purple or green like the apocalypse's mana, it is liquid gold and nebula blue, twisting silently with the power to erase and recreate. Survivors on broken rooftops point and scream. The distant mountain range is lit up by an impossible, terrifying celestial storm. The cosmic lightning is clearly visible, a silent, awe-inspiring spectacle that feels like the universe itself is paying attention. The void focuses. A single, searing lance of catastrophic cosmic lightning pierces through all barriers and camouflage without resistance. It strikes Kai directly on the crown of his head. He does not scream. His body arches and his eyes blaze with the same cosmic energy as the lightning. The lightning does not destroy. It tempers and seals. It floods through every perfected organ and every drop of spiritualized blood, scouring away the final, quantum-level imperfections and welding his perfect foundation into the immutable laws of reality. The energy dissipates. Realm 1, Organ and Blood. Status: absolute peak. Foundation: cosmically sealed. Stability: eternal. A tribulation. The cosmos itself tests and affirms a perfect foundation. The energy signature was catastrophic in scale, Master. While our location remains physically hidden, the visual phenomenon was unmistakable. I am detecting panicked communications from nearby survivor settlements, referencing divine wrath or a new catastrophe. In the mountains. Good. Let the new world know that something new has been born in its ashes. Now, to the bones. The cosmic energy storm finally subsided, leaving behind a sky shimmering with residual light. In the heart of it all, Kai's eyes snapped open. The organ and blood realm was complete. Every cell within him hummed with a power he'd never known, a vibrant, life-filled resonance. But this was just the beginning. The next step awaited, the skin and bone realm. He drew a breath, and the world's energy answered his call, swirling around him like a living cloak. This wasn't the gentle absorption from before. This was a scouring, powerful baptism of force. The energy, now infused with metallic and crystalline properties, began to temper his exterior. It felt like being sanded down and rebuilt, molecule by molecule. His skin, once soft, began to take on a subtle, almost imperceptible sheen like polished jade. A casual touch now carried the density of stone. Then the energy dove deeper, seeking out his very framework. His bones groaned under the immense pressure, not in pain, but in transformation. They were being forged, compressed, and reinforced. Microfractures would appear and be instantly healed by the flood of vital energy, each time leaving the bone stronger, denser, more resilient. He could feel his skeleton becoming a lattice of bioorganic steel, a foundation capable of withstanding colossal impacts. As he stood, a simple punch from him now cracked the air with a sharp sonic boom. His movements were faster, more explosive. He could leap dozens of meters into the air, landing without a sound, his newly forged frame absorbing the impact effortlessly. His skin could now deflect low-caliber energy blasts, the beams scattering harmlessly off his shimmering epidermis. He had become a living weapon, his body a fortress. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, observatories and mystic councils were in an uproar. The energy signature from Kai's breakthrough had registered on every sensitive instrument across a dozen star systems. They called it the Viridian Anomaly, an unprecedented surge of life force energy, originating from a supposedly barren sector. Fleets were dispatched, exploratory probes launched, and ancient seers scoured the star charts for prophecies. They didn't know what caused it, but they knew one thing: a power that could reshape the cosmos had just been born, and they were all heading straight for it. Back in his secluded training ground, Kai was oblivious to the galactic manhunt he had just triggered. He simply smiled, feeling the raw, untamed power thrumming just beneath his skin, eager to test its limits. The universe was coming for him, but he was ready to meet it. This time there was no struggle, only control. A complete and utter mastery over my own form. Deep within my sanctum, I could feel every fiber of my being responding to my will. The energy I absorbed now flowed with purpose, not chaos. It coursed through my marrow, igniting my skeleton with a brilliant, golden light that shone through my very flesh. My bones, once mundane, were being reforged, becoming something more, something divine. The domain steward's voice echoed in my mind, a frantic whisper of approaching threats. Scouts from the outer systems, drawn by the celestial phenomena of my first breakthrough. Let them come. They would find nothing but their own demise. My domain's defenses were absolute, a fortress of my own design. Their pathetic attempts to breach it were like insects buzzing against an impenetrable wall. I dismissed the warning with a thought. They were a distraction, an irrelevance. My focus was singular, my own ascension. As the golden light in my bones intensified, intricate patterns began to bloom across my skin. They weren't tattoos. They were living circuits of cosmic energy, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. Each line, each sigil, was a testament to my growing power, a map of the new laws I was writing for my own existence. The peak of the second realm was near, and with it, the familiar hum of cosmic judgment. The universe was preparing to test me once again. The air crackled, the very fabric of my sanctum warping under the pressure. The second tribulation was coming. Outside my sanctuary, the void split open, not with one bolt, but two. A storm of cosmic lightning, twice as potent, twice as magnificent. The first bolt, a spear of pure, white-hot energy, struck with the force of a dying star. It bypassed my skin entirely, homing in on my bones. I didn't fight it, I welcomed it. I felt my entire skeleton shatter and instantly reform, each bone now harder than any known alloy, glowing with an internal, permanent light. The second bolt followed a microsecond later, a web of crackling golden lightning that wrapped around my body. It wasn't pain. It was a baptism of fire. The patterns on my skin flared, absorbing the energy, branding themselves permanently into my being. The familiar, dispassionate voice of the Codex resonated through me. Second realm, skin and bone, attainment confirmed. Durability increased by a factor of 1,000. Innate energy resistance elevated. I clenched my fist, the sound echoing like cracking stone. A simple blade, one that could once pierce my flesh, now shattered into dust upon contact with my forearm. The transformation was complete. I was a fortress in my own right. And as I stood there, feeling this indestructible power, my thoughts drifted to them. Jax and Reed. It wasn't a coincidence, was it? 2 bolts of lightning. One for each of them. One for each act of betrayal. The universe itself seemed to acknowledge their treachery, branding the memory of it into my very form. Far away, I knew they were watching, feeling the shockwaves of my ascension. Let them watch. Let them feel the fear. This was just the beginning. I closed my eyes, the golden light within me pulsing, and began to draw upon the energy for the next realm. Their reckoning was coming. Thanks for watching. If you want to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe.